Imagine walking into your bank with full confidence, believing your money is sitting safely in a vault like some treasure chest guarded by dragons. Now imagine finding out that not only is that treasure chest empty, but the bank has actually been loaning out your gold to half the kingdom while tossing you a couple of coins as a thank you. Today, we're diving into the 7 truths about money that banks do not want you to know. Some of these are so sneaky that once you hear them, you'll start seeing banks less like friendly institutions and more like really polite pickpockets. Stick around, because truth number 7 could actually make you rethink whether you even need a bank at all. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt like banks are always one step ahead of you, charging fees, paying next to nothing in interest, and somehow still making record profits, this video is going to explain exactly why. And hey, if you've ever yelled at your phone after seeing a random maintenance fee on your account, then smash that like button, because today's video is therapy. Now, let's start with the very first uncomfortable truth. Let's shatter the first illusion. When you deposit money into your bank account, it's not legally your money anymore. What actually happens is that you lend your money to the bank, and the bank owes you an IOU. That's why when banks collapse, depositors are called creditors. If the bank can't pay up, well, tough luck. Ever wondered why banks limit how much cash you can withdraw per day? It's because if every customer suddenly demanded their money back, the bank wouldn't have enough to give everyone. Picture this. You lend your car to your neighbor, and instead of driving it, they open a rental service, rent it to the entire neighborhood, and make thousands of dollars. Then when you ask for your car, they say, sorry, you can only borrow it for an hour a day. That's banking in a nutshell. And the kicker? Banks profit off lending your money while paying you basically nothing. It's like working for free while your boss takes the credit. Now, banks aren't just making money from holding your deposits. Their real feast begins when you borrow. Credit cards, mortgages, student loans, these are gold mines. And the system is designed to keep you hooked. Take credit cards, for example. They love when you pay the minimum balance. Why? Because that keeps you on a hamster wheel of interest payments. The average credit card charges around 20% interest, while the bank borrows money at, say, 2% or less. That's a 10x profit margin. It's not financial services. It's legalized pickpocketing. And if you've ever felt like your bank doesn't want you to become debt-free, you're right. They'd rather have you paying interest forever than celebrate you being free. It's like your gym hoping you don't get fit, because then you'd cancel your membership. Now, banks aren't just making money from holding your deposits. Their real feast begins when you borrow. Credit cards, mortgages, student loans, these are gold mines. And the system is designed to keep you hooked. Take credit cards, for example. They love when you pay the minimum balance. Why? Because that keeps you on a hamster wheel of interest payments. The average credit card charges around 20% interest, while the bank borrows money at, say, 2% or less. That's a 10x profit margin. It's not financial services. It's legalized pickpocketing. And if you've ever felt like your bank doesn't want you to become debt-free, you're right. They'd rather have you paying interest forever than celebrate you being free. It's like your gym hoping you don't get fit, because then you'd cancel your membership. Yes, the classic savings account. Banks love advertising them with words like safe, secure, and grow your money. But here's the painful truth. They don't grow your money. They slowly suffocate it. Let's say inflation is 6% this year. That means your money loses 6% of its value in purchasing power. Meanwhile, your bank is generously giving you 1% interest. Congratulations, you just lost 5% of your money without even noticing. It's like running a race where you take 1 step forward and inflation kicks you 5 steps backward. And yet, banks keep marketing savings accounts with smiling grandparents holding hands with grandkids. Why? Because they sell safety, not growth. They know you'll accept the illusion of security while they quietly drain your wealth. Honestly, a shoebox under your bed is almost the same thing, at least the shoebox doesn't charge fees. Here's where psychology comes into play. Banks are masters of emotional manipulation. Walk into a branch, and what do you see? Posters of families buying dream homes, kids graduating, happy retirees sipping cocktails by the beach. The message? We'll help you get here. The reality? They'll help you finance it. and then chain you to decades of payments. It's the same trick casinos use. Bright lights, free drinks, fake glamour. Except here, the stakes are your financial future. Banks want you to feel safe and supported, so you keep trusting them. But behind the smiling tellers and polished ads, their main mission is making profit, not making your dreams come true. Think of it this way. If banks really wanted you to be financially free, they'd teach financial literacy in schools. But have you seen a bank running classes about how to pay off debt fast or how to invest outside their products? Exactly. Now let's talk about something that feels like straight-up wizardry. Banks literally create money out of thin air. It's called fractional reserve banking. If you deposit $1,000, the bank only keeps a small fraction in reserve and lends out the rest. But here's the magic trick. They can lend out far more than they even have. It's like you giving me one apple, and I somehow lend 9 apples to other people that never existed. Those people now owe me 9 apples, plus interest, and suddenly I'm the richest apple dealer in town. That's how banks do it with money. This system is why the economy can expand, but it's also why bubbles burst and inflation creeps in. The more money is created, the less valuable your existing money becomes. Meanwhile, the bank still collects interest on money it basically conjured out of nowhere. Talk about a good deal for them. Here's a fun fact. Financially educated customers are the bank's worst nightmare. If you know how interest works, you'll pay off debt fast. If you understand inflation, you won't lock all your money in low-interest accounts. If you're financially literate, you'll start exploring investments outside of banks altogether. That's why they never push education. Instead, they push products, credit cards with shiny perks, loans with special rates, and savings accounts with laughable returns. They want you dependent. The less you know, the more they profit. It's like a casino handing out free drinks to keep you gambling. The goal isn't your well-being, it's keeping you playing the game. But the difference is, in the banking game, the house always wins. Unless, of course, you educate yourself. Now here's the bombshell. You don't actually need banks the way you think you do. Today, there are alternatives everywhere. Credit unions, fintech apps, peer-to-peer lending platforms, and yes, even cryptocurrencies. These options often come with lower fees, more transparency, and more control. But banks don't want you to know that. That's why they lobby governments, run expensive ad campaigns, and paint alternatives as risky. They know that if enough people move their money elsewhere, their entire business model starts to crumble. Imagine you're in a bad relationship and you finally realize, wait, I don't need to put up with this. There are other options out there. That's how people feel once they explore alternatives to traditional banking. And once you get that freedom, it's very hard to go back. So there you have it. 7 uncomfortable truths about money that banks would prefer you never hear. Your money isn't really yours. They profit when you borrow. Savings accounts are silent wealth killers. They play with your emotions. They create money out of thin air. They keep you financially uneducated. And finally, they don't want you to know there are better alternatives out there. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button so the algorithm pushes this video to more people who need to hear it. Subscribe if you want to keep learning how to outsmart the system, and drop a comment telling me which truth surprised you the most. And remember, the best weapon you have against a system designed to keep you broke is knowledge. Educate yourself, take control, and never let your money control you.